Okay, category 3. Here we go. Which situation can be represented by y equals 12x minus 4? A few different things you could do. You could either analyze each one or try to write an equation for each one and see if which one matches. It's kind of up to you. The number of eggs, y. So this would be the number of eggs in x dozen eggs. So this would be 12 eggs. So this would be how many cartons you're trying to buy after 4 dozen eggs are sold. That doesn't really make sense. The cost y of buying X movie tickets that sell for $8 each. That would be 8x, not 12x minus 4. The cost y after a $4 discount of buying X t-shirts that sell for $12 each. So we have the $12 each part. That's the 12x. I have a discount of $4. Okay. The number of inches in an X foot tall tree after cutting off 4 feet. Well, this would be the number of inches. So 12 inches per foot. So that makes sense. And this, but the 4 feet, that doesn't make sense. Because if this is in inches, this should be in inches. So this would either have to say 4 inches, or if it was 4 feet, it would be minus 48. So the only one that really makes sense would be C. Number 3. Which table shows the rate of change with respect to x as y equals 4 minus 5/8 x? So it has the same rate of change as this. This rate of change is negative 5/8. So we need to find a table with also a negative 5/8 rate of change. Is it blurry or is it just me? Maybe I'm fixing it, maybe not. So a couple of things I would do. If it's going to be a negative rate of change, then either your x or y value has to increase and the other one has to decrease. So these are both increasing, so it can't be that one. This one goes up and this goes down, so we'll have to check it. This one up and this one down, we'll have to check it. This one up and this one down, we'll have to check it. We could at least cross out one of them. Now moving forward, I would come to this one first just because there's no decimals. So this is minus 12, and this is plus 3. Negative 12 over 3 is negative 4. Well, that didn't work out for me. So now I would calculate some stuff here. So 10.4 minus 0.8. This went down 9.6. And this went up 6. So 9.6 divided by 6 is 1.6. That's not going to be 5/8. So right now I'm assuming it's C, but I'm going to check just to be sure I didn't make a mistake. So here we have negative 2.5 and plus 4. And 2.5 divided by 4, sorry, I should do negative 2.5 divided by 4 is negative 6.25. And don't forget to change it to a fraction. You can click math, enter, enter, is negative 5/8, which is exactly what we're looking for. So if we're doing the slope like this, you only have to do one row. You don't have to find the rate of change in the whole table because it should be the same in the whole table. Number 7. The graph shows the time it took a worker to package 16 bottles of shampoo. The next day, 2 workers packaged twice the number of bottles of shampoo in the same amount of time. If this new relationship is graphed on the same coordinate grid, which statement is true? The graph would have a y-intercept at 80. So you're saying in 0 time, these 2 workers packaged 80 bottles in 0 minutes? No. The new graph would be steeper, or less steep, or have a y-intercept at 8. So let's see. 2 workers packaged twice the number of bottles. So that means in 0 time, they still packaged 0 bottles. In 5 minutes, instead of 2 bottles, they packaged 4. In 10 minutes, instead of 4 bottles, they packaged 8. In 15 minutes, instead of 6 bottles, they packaged 12. So now my line looks like this. So the y-intercept is not at 8. I don't know how those are even possible choices. It is steeper because they were packaging more, so their rate of change was more. Always draw things, use your calculator. Don't just try and think it through. The length and feet of a small train at an amusement park can be modeled by the function blah blah blah. C is the number of passenger cars. The original passenger cars were replaced, and the length of the train is now modeled by a new function. Based on this information, which statement describes the change in the situation? Before reading the answer choices, I would look at what happened in the situation. So here, I have 9 times C. C is the number of cars. These are the number of cars. The length is what's changing. So that means this 9 and this C and the 12, that means how long each of those cars are. So first, a car was 9 feet long, and now it's 12 feet long. Perhaps this is like the engine. So maybe the engine is 14 feet long, so they both have the same kind of engine. So, let's see. So which statement describes the change? So the locomotive is now 9 feet long? No. Is now 12 feet long. These are the locomotive, so the whole train. We don't know how long the whole train is. That's the Y. So those don't make sense. The passenger car is now 9 feet, or the passenger car is now 12 feet. C is the number of passenger cars. So the number with the C determines how long the passenger car is. So each passenger car is now 12 feet long. The graph shows a relationship between the number of cookies a presenter at a convention has left to give away and the number of presentations she had made. I feel like we saw this question somewhere. Maybe on an exam? I don't know. What does the x-intercept of the graph represent? Here's the x-intercept, where it crosses the x-axis, and I always look to see what it means. So there's 6 presentations made, and there's 0 cookies left, okay? The number of cookies the presenter had before making presentations? No, they made 6 presentations. This would be the y-intercept before they started, which is 180. The maximum number of cookies they gave away during every presentation, that would be the rate of change, how many they're giving away each time. That doesn't make any sense. The number they made, presentations they made per hour, hours are not even involved here. Hours are not mentioned up here. We have no idea how many they make an hour. The maximum number of presentations the presenter made before running out of cookies. My cookies are 0, 6 presentations, they're out of cookies. So there we go. Number 22. Which equation can be represented by the graph shown below? So what I would do in this situation is I would find the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. So I have a y-intercept of 2. So y equals something x plus 2. I find a new intersection point, maybe not even till down here. So I go 1, 2, 3, down 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down 3 over 8. Now it kind of looks like maybe it intersects here. So what I would do in that case I went down 1 over 3. So I would continue that pattern. Down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3, and my line is not going through those points anymore. If I go up 1 over 3, nope, up 1 over 3. Now I'm getting way off. I should be able to continue that pattern over and over again and still be on the line. So that's just kind of a hint. Whenever you're trying to count the slope, if you think you got it, repeat your pattern and see if it still works. Now I need to change this to standard form. So I have my x and y on the same side and my constant. So let's knock that out. I can subtract the y and have everything on the same side. So negative 3 over 8x minus y plus 2 equals 0. Now in order to get rid of this fraction, I have to multiply everything times 8. So that would leave me negative 3x minus 8y plus 16 equals 0. That is not one of my answer choices. So I can cross those out because they don't match. If I make this a positive, then every sign has to change. So it's like multiplying it by a negative 1. So then I would have a positive 3x, a positive 8y, minus 16 equals 0. And that is an answer choice. So all I did was move all the variables to the same side with the constant. So it's kind of like standard form. Standard form kind of goes between whether the constant is with the variables or if it's not with the variables. So in this case, I did move it. And I wanted to check to be sure they weren't going to leave this negative. It shouldn't be. It should be following the rules that this number is not a fraction and it's positive. That's how it should be written. Number 27. The total cost of renting a banquet hall is a function of the number of hours the hall is rented. The owner of the banquet hall chain charges $85 per half hour up to a maximum of 4 hours plus a $50 cleaning fee. What is the greatest value in the range for this situation? Okay. So the greatest value in the range. That means I want to know the greatest amount of money I could charge. So I have to think about if I had to make a table, if I went 0 hours, this fee of $50 would be on the Y-intercept. I realize you wouldn't actually pay $50 if you didn't go to the hall, but you know. So 0 hours, $50 fee. It's $85 per half hour. So this is per half hour, which means your X value is how many half hours you're there. And then this is your total cost. So if you're there for 30 minutes, if you're there for 1 half hour, you have to pay $85 plus 50, the $50 fee. So 85 plus 50, $135. If you're there for 2 half hours, you pay 85 twice plus the cleaning fee. So we can write an equation of 85x plus 50. And then put that in our table, or our calculator. And look at the table. And it's a maximum of 4 hours. So a max of 4 hours would be 8 half hours. So this is 30 minutes, 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours. So the most money that you could pay is $730. So when we fill in our bubbles, you can put your 730 anywhere. If you didn't watch the last video, you haven't heard me talk about this, but the 730 could be here, it could be here, it could be in the middle. The only thing that you can't do is separate your numbers and put like the 7 and then the 3 here and the 0 there. Otherwise, you can put them wherever you want. If it's positive, you don't have to fill in positive. If it's negative, you have to fill in negative.